I want to walk you through a real retention system today. No hypotheticals and not what brands should be doing. This is actually what a multi-million-dollar wellness brand is actually running inside email and SMS right now. We're going to break down what works, where it perhaps leaks a little bit, and what you should steal today if you're serious about retention for your e-commerce business. So quick context on me before we get into it. I run retention marketing here at Hayes Media. Email and SMS is what we do all day, breakfast, lunch and dinner across a range of 7, 8 and 9-figure e-commerce brands. We're not guessing and we're not testing for fun. And you can see here when I refresh this Klaviyo dashboard that in the month of January 2026, we're currently at $282,000. We're going to be breaking $300,000 of attributed email revenue, which is equivalent of 31.16%. Already a 34% increase from last year. Even if the brand is only doing an 8% increase, email is supercharging through. Now, I want to show you where we do this here. So where do I run retention? I mentioned Hayes Media. Here's the website, hayesmedia.co. You can come through this website and have a look at the brands we work with. Right now, if you are looking to fix any money leaks or even have someone run retention marketing for you, we're currently doing complimentary audits on your email and retention marketing. So all you have to do is book a call by going to this website or clicking the link below, and we'll literally come in, give you a deep dive and full audit of your account and where you are missing out on revenue opportunities, give you literally everything that you can do and take away and implement yourself, or the opportunity to work with us and we can do it for you. So book that complimentary audit today and I'll see you on the other side. Now, Love Wellness is a great example of a brand that understands momentum. So I'm going to start with the first interaction through onboarding, and then we'll get into campaigns and everything to show you how it's designed to keep the customer moving, right? There's no long pauses in the retention system and no dead space. They literally have everything answering one question. How do we stay relevant without burning the list? It starts up with the pop-up strategy. So here we have a micro commitment pop-up. It's a great way to start at the very top of the funnel. They have a simple click with low effort and no friction. So here is one access to our New Year Same You sale. I really like this take on the New Year, New You. It's kind of standing out, and it also really, it complements their brand very, very well. This brand being that you are already good enough. Again, they're this type of brand, their target audience, maybe they want them to know that you are already good enough, right? It's very, very on brand for Love Wellness. They're very much about that holistic approach to skincare. And so they don't want to make anyone feel that they're not enough, and they came up with this slogan. I think it's really cool. Then they go into this question, asking yes or no. If you click no, it'll go down, and yes, you'll go on to the next page. This sequencing is so important. I know a lot of brands are doing this now, but this micro commitment, if literally someone drops off from this step or they go through to the next one, the point is, once they say yes in their brain, they're more likely to enter in whatever it is that you want to do next, right? Because they've already inside their brain said, yes, I want access to it. Let me give you your email. We've seen this really boost sign-up rates without actually doing anything else. Like literally you do this, the same amount of traffic, the same type of people, and your sign-up rate increases. There's no inflated metrics here. It's genuinely legit. So I really like this micro commitment. A lot of brands are doing it. If you're not already, you should do it because it's how you get the most signups. Starting with the welcome flow. So you can see the flow. We go down to the email capture, save 30% off when you subscribe today. And then SMS, again, is the same offer, 30% off. So I've already explained why it works. Now, there's some big improvements that we can have here. It's a lack of exclusivity. It's just a little bit where it falls short, right? So the offer isn't exclusive to those who give them email address. They're asking for an email in exchange for a discount that's already visible on the website. So the pop-up promises 30% off, but the homepage banner already displays the exact same deal. 30% off subscriptions, and then you have 20% off one-time purchases. But basically, it's exactly the same offer than what you're getting already on the website. So it's kind of like a no-brainer to not give your email address, essentially. So the reward is free, where they're not going to be giving their email address as much. Alongside on the SMS as well, a way to improve this is to give them some reason to also sign up. Now, this is cool. Subscribe for text for exclusive updates, early access, and limited time offers. But then they go in again with the same offer that's on the website. Is a good thing to do here is tease something. So if you have a limited time offer available for SMS, give them that here. Maybe it's 5% off. Maybe it's get access to our, exclusive discount immediately or tomorrow or something like that. It could be a mystery offer, a mystery discount. Then you put some kind of offer in that first text. Again, getting them to sign up, because it's harder for the customer to give you their phone number than it is their email address. So offer some kind of incentive there. Two things: more incentive on the SMS, and then secondly, making sure that the email pop-up offer or whatever it is that you're giving away, your incentive that you're trying to give to get the email address, is different than what's already on the website. Don't just copy and paste it. Now, let's go on to the welcome flow. Here's the exact sequence that Love Wellness used for their welcome series. So email 1 sent instantly the 30% off that we talked about. Email 2, which comes out a day later, talks about their flagship products and enters in the reviews. Email 3, day later, is social proof and then a doctor angle. And then email 4 is 24 hours later again. So within the same week, all the emails are going out, is reminding them of the 30% off and then showcasing their bestsellers. So let's get into the designs of the email. Email 1, what they do really well in email 1, and then what I really like to see here, especially for skincare, healthcare brands, health and wellness brands, is some kind of high trust founder narrative. The letter here from Lo approaches and it humanizes the brand straight away from the get-go. This is really, really clever. What this does is it signals trust early on and it adds clear authority. But the primary job of this email is delivery. And unfortunately, in this case, the incentive is buried as well. You don't know about what it is that they're giving here, even though you do at the top. Now, this bit's great, but in terms of linking the offer on the pop-up into the content of the email, you should be giving some details and information early on what it is. The CTA here is too buried, right? And the CTA, the reason they signed up for your list in the first place, is for the offer. So what I recommend brands to do for the first email is to just give the thing that they signed up for straight away, top of the fold. Here the headline is 30% off, use code or whatever it is to do, and then it's to click through. That's immediately at the top. So as soon as they open email, they just see the thing that they signed up for and they get access to it immediately. Reduce the friction and build the trust from the get-go. The great time to introduce something like a mission, founder-led mission statement or story is in your second email, the email after the offer, where maybe the person who signed up didn't want the offer, but they want to know more about your brand. And that is where email 2 comes in with the mission-led statement. So I think here, lovely email. They could have done two things. One, not buried the offer, and two, perhaps move this to email 2, where I have a feeling it still would perform really well. So the second email that I got from Love Wellness, again, like I mentioned, was the products and proof, the flagship products and the proof of it working. The thing that's really good here is the expective Z pattern layout. So you have that is very easy on the eye, very short copy, super easy to skim and read. Again, CTAs are a little bit small here, and the same color as well, being black, they could be this color pink, just to signal like where to click. It makes it a lot more visible and easier for the eye. But otherwise, really like the Z layout. It works very well in emails. A specific benefit-driven social proof. So instead of saying, "Oh, I really love the product. Oh, it's great. I've done this." No, it says, "I've been using it for a year and she loves it. Here is bye-bye bloat within 30 minutes. I think this is stronger than this one, actually. But yeah, it basically talks in with a problem and a solution immediately. The bloating and how this solved it in 30 minutes. And then again, this great multivitamin that gives you everything you need. I think the improvements that you can make here is expand on this. So it's everything you need. What do you mean everything I mean? More energy, more X, right? I've been using it for almost a year, but why have I been using it for almost a year? What problems have it solved? Again, this is a great example of a testimonial, this second one here. And I think the first and the third one could expand on, what does so well on this one. Greening forward visuals. So I really love the visuals. I think the photo here is beautiful. It's very colorful. It stands out. It blends in really nicely. Overall, really clean, nice layout and design. Again, just to really talk about the disconnected incentive, 30% offer is in green here, whereas in the previous email, you can see it was in red. So again, I think the green, it doesn't stand out as much as the red. And also they don't mention the offer again. It kind of just disappears. And maybe they're doing that because again, it's already on the website. And a weak primary CTA. I mean, shop now is very, very genetic. I think you can add in some benefit driven CTA here, like shop for supplements that do X, or that could even be put here, click below to shop for the supplements that do X, and then have shop now. But some kind of CTA that leads in with the benefit and or a solution to the problem, and then you can have a shop now button. But otherwise, you need a more curiosity-driven shop button. Yeah, I think these are really good. Vaginal health, gut health, very clear indicators of what someone might be looking for. So the copy here is strong. It's just making the color stand out better. Let's go on to email 3, which is your social proof and using, authority with a doctor. Again, using doctors, especially if you have people who maybe use your products that are doctors, or if you have any friends or connections that are in the same industry as you and have some kind of authority, whether it's a PhD or some kind of a certification, they're really good. It dramatically elevates the trust, and it shifts the brand perception from like being a trendy wellness brand, but to, being medically endorsed. And people, if they had any doubts in trust, this is going to help with that. Another point is the bundle psychology. So by framing products, I know Clinique do a really good job with their skincare, like skincare in 3 steps, and then they have a product for each of the steps. Really like how Wolof Wellness have done that here. So step 1 is the gut health, step 2 being vaginal health, and then step 3 they being digestive health. And the way they frame it is like you need all 3 to get the full benefits of Love Wellness, which is great. And putting bundles or some way of bundling your products in your welcome series is a great way to increase AOV. And so, yeah, this is a really good example of that. Third point is a practical context. So the copy actually uses personal use cases. So for example, here you can see they do, I had Good Girl provides my smoothie every morning, which is really good. This one is Bye Bye Bloat is my favorite way to alleviate my bloating whenever I'm on call, or whenever I'm in a situation where I need to not be bloating, whenever I want to hang out with my friends, or like something, deep. I know that women specifically don't like to be bloated around other people because it feels horrible, and also they're very self-conscious of it. So you can also add in something around that. But either way, these are really, really good. I think the only difference is this one here. They could have, done that to match the other ones. These two match each other. They're just missing that on step 1. Either way, really good. Practical contexts are really good to use, as well as like benefit driven or problem solution driven ideas. But just make sure they all follow a similar structure, so that they all synergize and work well together. Some of the cons. So category confusion. So step 1 is gut health, and then step 3 is digestive health. And I think a lot of people will be asking themselves, like, what is the difference between that? So, they, to me and to most normal people, if you're not a professional, they sound identical. And I think the copy doesn't differentiate that well here, so that you wouldn't know that probiotics are mainly, maintenance, and then symptom relief is, afterwards. So, which is bloating. So this is like maintenance, and this is like symptom relief. And it doesn't really, gut health and digestive health kind of sound like the same thing. So it can be a bit confusing. Same question, same comments on the shop now. I think a good CTA here would be shop the routine or get Dr. Horton's bundle, and it links to the products mentioned here would be good, rather than just having shop now. And then also the 30% off again is just really, it just remains a bit trapped in the exact same spot. It's easy to miss, and the eyes won't be going here, they'll be going down here. So they could do better with adding in the sale and reminding them somewhere in the copy here as well, and using it as to add more of a desire to this. Like get Dr. Horton's 3-step routine at 30% or 20% off, or up to 30% off, right? Like you can mention it, you can add it on to the copy they've already got. And let's go to email 4. So here's urgency and collection. So this email opens with a strong educational hook. Your gut produces 95% of your serotonin, giving nothing but the best. It's a really good, strong educational curiosity hook, and it connects gut health to mood, which I think broadens the reasons to buy the product. And this grid layout here is really efficient for high intent buyers, makes it very easy to see things and click what you want. But I think for new customers, there's not enough context. You open up this really good point here, but then you don't expand on it at all, especially when you start featuring your products. It's like, how does this part, your gut produces 95%, link into these? It doesn't connect that well. And I think product names alone don't explain the value. I know they're trying to not add too much copy here and keep it short, but they've done it here really well, where they've added a bit of copy. You could follow the same style and same layout with the same amount of copy, just to expand on the product benefits and how it links to this point here, how it links to serotonin, how it links to your mood, how it links to, everyday health and happiness. And I think they could really expand on it a lot more, because for new customers, they need the value up front, and it needs to be easy to understand. And again, repeating the same CTA over and over just makes the email feel a little bit robotic. So again, there's lots of pros to these emails. There's just ways that it can be improved. And I'm not going to mention the sale again. I think we've hammered that point home. So let's go into the campaign strategy overall and just having a broad look at what they've been sending this month. Now, zooming out there, the campaign strategy is quite aggressive, but it's controlled. They send often, but the content varies. We have here education, like your Mythbusters, like we've got your gut, like the Social Proof 4,000 plus star reviews, sensitive skin, supplements made easy. We've got FAQs, right? We've got FAQs here as well, which is really good. And, Mythbusters, I guess, is more of your FAQ, reset, restart as well. Free gifts, free shipping, not just going in straight with discounts, free bundle gifts. Again, I really like seeing a varied of offers within 1 month and having the offers really short and punchy and good for margins, Free mystery gifts are good for margins. Free shipping are usually good for margins, depending on the brand, I know. But usually for skincare, free shipping is better for the margins than offering big site-wide discounts. I also like they've got a plain text here, which is basically just saying personalized recommendations. We're here to help. Reply if you need help. This is really, really good email to do. And they regularly dedicate sends purely for social proof. There's a lot, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. I mean, yes, they're sending the same emails here. They could vary these to be better. I wouldn't ever, ever, ever send the same social proof email in the same month. I would make sure we're doing them. But 3 social proof emails within a few weeks is great. Just make sure you vary it, right? And I think, if you haven't read this one, you've read this one. This is going to build a lot of trust because 4,000 plus reviews is strong. It keeps trust high even when, they're selling quite frequently. So I think the key takeaway with Love Wellness is, first of all, images. The images they use are very strong. The colors they use are very strong. Really, really good way of using social proof. And I think the layout of the email is really something you can use and develop and steal yourself. Other things that we can improve on, like I mentioned, is whenever you're featuring social proof in your reviews, follow something in the same order, right? So if you're going to go in with something like this, which is practical context, like how everyone would use your product day to day in that email, make sure every single point where you're mentioning the social proof uses practical context. Do the same for problem and solution. If you have an email that's problem and solution and you're using social proof, make sure every single review mentions a different problem and has a different solution. And if it's the same problem, just word it in a different way that people understand it. I think really, there's a lot to take away with Love Wellness. I think their campaign strategy of mixing education with social proof with different offers, again, are really strong for January. I would just like to see some variation in those social proof emails and also a few more plain texts. One is great, but they could definitely have room to send some more as well. Now, like I said, I showed you at the beginning this example of where email really can do the heavy lifting after paid acquisition. And this only happens when you have your onboarding flows and campaigns all working together, not as solo things, but as a system. And that's exactly what we do at Hays. So you can scroll down on our website. You can see the brands we work with. If you want us to have a look at your retention engine and help you build a system that keeps customers coming back, even if you're a 7, 8, and 9 figure brand or more, we can do that because everything ties back to LTV. And that is our objective on what we need to improve. Now, please click below, book that audit, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.